Hi everybody and welcome back to Crafted by Corie. If you are returning, thank you so much for all of your ongoing support. You all know how much I appreciate you. If you're new, I'm Corie. Really excited you're here. Let's go ahead and get right into the crafting. Here we go with DIY number 1. So I am really excited about this video because this is a mystery box challenge with Wendy from White Sparrow Living, and these are the goodies that she sent me. I had that cute little mermaid off-duty box. This little sign I love with the rooster. I thought it was really cute as is. And then I've got this little windmill that is super sweet. I've also got this really pretty wooden, it's like a box, but it's like a picture and it can stand up on its own. And then she also sent me these great buffalo check red napkins. And then this cute little corrugated sign with "Bless Our Home" on the front. Super sweet. Got to figure out what I'm doing here, right? Let's see. So I decided I was going to start with this cute little box, and it does have this really nice little metal holder on the front of it, which is screwed on. So I've got this cute little mini screwdriver that I used to pull that off of there, and I don't even know where I got that screwdriver, but it's come in handy. And then the image there was actually glued on, so I went ahead and prepped all of this and got it cleaned up and ready. And once it was ready, I came in with my Adirondack white chalk paint by Home Decor. And I gave this 2 good coats of chalk paint because I wanted to make sure that it was nice and bright and white. So then I had a piece of burlap from burlapfabric.com, and I had folded it in half and then folded the corner over to make sure that I could cut 2 identical triangles. I'm going to take that long edge and bunch it up to create ears. So I am going to go ahead and secure that with some hot glue. I did use a little bit of hot glue on the ear to make sure that it would stay kind of together. I'll show you that in just a second here. So I'm bunching it all up, making sure I've got the shape that I want, coming in with some hot glue in the middle there. Just be careful not to burn yourself. I do a really good job of burning myself with hot glue. And secured it with some more hot glue to the top. So I have this cute little adhesive wood heart piece that I'm going to be using for the nose. But in the meantime, I also have this scrap wire. I had pulled this off of a package of chicken wire last week. And so I save everything, right? So repurposing the wire, wrapping it around a paintbrush to kind of get the little squigglies that I want. And then after doing a couple of those, I decided I wanted some that were a different size. So I went ahead and grabbed a pencil out of my stash. And I'm doing this and I'm looking at this pencil. I'm like, what does that say on there? And I could not believe it, you guys. Ithaca College orientation. This pencil, I went to Ithaca College, okay? This pencil is like 30 years old. So it goes to show I tend to keep everything, probably to a fault. So, at any rate, it served me well for this project, and later on, as you will see, but I went ahead and got all of my little whiskers squiggled up and got them positioned where I wanted them. And I came in with my hot glue. It did take a little bit of doing with this just because of the shape of them. They wanted to roll around on me, so you do have to just kind of be patient with yourself and just take your time and lots of hot glue. So it all worked out and it was great. And then I came in while that was cooling a little bit with my ARTEZA self-adhesive felt, and I'm cutting out, just freehanding, the shape for the interior of our bunny's little ears. So I was happy with the shape I cut out, so I flipped it over, used it as a pattern for the second ear. And then I noticed that my hot glue was cool enough, so I came in with more hot glue and applied the nose, just straightening out her little whiskers. Then I'm going to take off that backing for the felt on both ears and just secure that in up against the burlap. So now I have my ARTEZA acrylic paint marker, and I'm just drawing her some cute little eyes and a sweet little mouth. So now I've got some ribbon. I had picked this up in, I think it was like a 6-pack of different ribbons from Michael's. It was on clearance for like $3. I was really, really excited to find that. And so just doing a double loop bow and securing that with some hot glue. It's really just looping the ribbon over itself a couple of times. And then I'm coming in with another piece to wrap around the middle to create the bow. You saw me folding it in half there. I was just checking to make sure that my loops were the same size that I was putting this into the middle. Folded that under and secured it with some hot glue. So it's just going to make a cute little bow for her. So then I'll come in with some more hot glue on the little bunny head in front of the ears and tucking the bow down into that hot glue. And there she is. Let me know what you think. So if you are new, my name is Corie. Welcome to my channel. This is Crafted by Corie. I'm really excited that you are here. On my channel, I love to do all kinds of different DIYs, trash to treasure, a lot of Dollar Tree, always on a budget, and it really can run the gamut as far as the types of projects that I'm working on. But I hope that you'll consider subscribing if you haven't already, and you'll come and visit with me again sometime soon. And if you are returning, thank you. I appreciate you all so much. Today's video is really special because this is in collaboration with Wendy from White Sparrow Living. If you are not already familiar with Wendy, I hope you will go and check her out. I'm going to have a link to her video in my description box. Wendy is wonderful. I absolutely adore her. She's got such a sweet personality, and she's actually one of the people who inspired me to create my own channel. So she's got a special place in my heart, and I hope you will go over and support her as well. And one other quick announcement, I am starting a monthly minis challenge. If you are a crafter, I hope you'll participate this coming Friday, February 19th. And if you just like to watch crafting videos, I hope you'll come and get some great inspiration from the playlist. DIY number 2. So for this project, I'm using the Mermaid Off-Duty box. I have some Spanish moss. I think that was from the Dollar Tree, but it's been in my stash for a while. Those little carrots definitely are from the Dollar Tree. And I'm using my Adirondack white chalk paint again, and then coming in with some Waverly Antique wax. I am alternating between my brush and then using a baby wipe just to get it to the color that I want it. So I just want it to be like a light wood color. So now I have a stencil that I created on my Silhouette Cameo, and I am going to make this available on my website, craftedbycorie.com. I'm going to have free printables and things of that nature out there. The website is brand new, so I'm still trying to figure out how to get the free printables up there. I'm hoping that they'll be out there for you today, but if not, please be patient with me, and I will have it up there as soon as possible because this is going to be the first free printable. So you'll be able to use it as a printable or for your own silhouette or Cricut if you have a vinyl cutter. So I'm using my little facial sponges for the stenciling. I love that. And that was plaster and fern and pumpkin. Now, if I had to do this again, where I used the pumpkin on the words that I'm weeding out right there, I would actually use the plaster because they just kind of got lost in the, with that brown background. So do as I say, not as I do. I recommend using a brighter color for that. So now I know it pained me to cut these little carrots. They are so cute, but I just wanted the tops to peek out, and they were a little bit too tall for the depth of the box that I have. So they're just foam. I'm cutting them down, and as you can see, that is twine that is creating the carrot look. So I'm just gluing that down with some hot glue so that it doesn't come all unraveled on me. And then I'm just going to set it down on my parchment paper because the hot glue does not stick to the parchment. So let it cool there. Tucking in my Spanish moss into the little box. And now I was trying to tuck in the little carrot tops, but as you can see, I'm now cutting the moss because I wasn't able to kind of dig them down inside of there enough. So I just created a little X cut, and then I was able to tuck them right down inside. Give me a big thumbs up if you like this project. DIY number 3. So for this project, I am using the little windmill that Wendy sent me. I also have another stencil that I created on my Cameo. I will also make that available. This is a piece of plywood that I just had out in the garage, and I sanded down the edges to make sure that it was good to go. And then this is winter chalk paint from the Habitat for Humanity Restore. It's the first time I'm using this chalk paint, and it was almost identical to the color Plaster by, I believe that's Waverly that puts out Plaster. It's either Waverly or Home Decor. I'm losing my mind and can't really remember much of anything anymore. But so now I'm coming in with some pink, and I think this is called Vintage Rose. I could be mistaken. Like I said, you know, Wendy is always saying how the only thing she retains anymore is water, and I am right there with her. It's like in one ear and out the other anymore. But I also came in with, I think it's called Sunny Porch for the little button for the windmill piece. Now, here I am on the struggle bus big time, you guys. I had the hardest time getting this stencil onto my board. I don't know if it's the type of chalk paint that I used. I don't know if it's because I was working with plywood, but this stencil did not want to stick. So I did not trust it. And therefore I came in with my Ithaca College pencil. Woohoo! And I'm using the stencil, but I am tracing each of the letters because there was no way that this was going to get painted with the stencil the way that it was and not sticking. So I went through, traced all the letters, made sure I got everything. And now I'm coming in with my ARTEZA chalk paint marker in black. And I'm using the stencil to just find my way around the words. Hopefully that makes sense. Again, I did not trust it to come in with my little makeup sponge. It was going to be a disaster waiting to happen. So once I did that, I went ahead and peeled away my stencil, and you can see my penciled in letters. So then I came back with my paint marker again, and I went over all of my pencil lines so I had a nice solid edge that I'd be able to use for filling in with my actual chalk paint. So this definitely took a little bit more time than it normally would to do stenciling, but it actually turned out really well, and I didn't have to worry about whether it was going to bleed. And I guarantee you, if I had tried to use the stencil as I had originally intended, I would have had bleeds everywhere. You know, even Mod Podging at first, it wasn't going to happen. So this was the best course of action for this particular project, and I just took my time. You know, sometimes with crafting, your best laid plans don't work out, and you got to go to plan B. So this was my plan B. Once it was dry, I came in with some hot glue and secured my little windmill flower, secured the little yellow button to the middle, and there you go. Give me a big thumbs up. DIY number 4. So I'm using the corrugated metal sign for this. That little house on the front was screwed on as well. So I'm coming in with my little mini screwdriver again and taking that off and setting it aside for a future project. I took off the little twine hanger. I am going to reuse that, so I just set it aside. And now I had an idea, and I wasn't sure if it was going to work or not, but I thought, you know what, maybe I'll put the antique wax down first and then paint this and see what happens. So I let that dry for a little bit, and I went ahead and used some of my Dollar Tree spackling to fill in that little hole on my bunny's ear, because we're not going to be using that hole. Once the wax was dry, I came in with crystal chalk paint. And again, I use Waverly and I use Home Decor, and I think this one might be Waverly, but yeah, the memory. So I used my heat gun to dry that all quickly. So that's why I'm being very careful here, because I didn't want to burn myself. Remember, this is metal. So if you use a heat gun to dry your paint, don't go grabbing the metal sign right away. So I'm using a wet wipe, a baby wipe, to try and see if I can get off some of that paint where the wax was. After a little bit, it was cool enough for me to pick it up, and it just wasn't coming off. So it was a good idea, I thought, but it didn't work. So I came in with my little Dollar Tree sanding block and just distressed it that way. And then I came back in with the antique wax. And so then I used some of the antique wax on my little bunny friend as well. And once I had her the way that I wanted her, I went ahead and used some hot glue to attach her to the front of the sign. I just made sure she was nice and centered. So now I'm coming back in with my little hanger, reattaching that as it was before, nothing new. And then I was looking at her and I was thinking I should do something more to her, but I didn't know what I would want to do. And ultimately I decided I really liked how she looked just like this. I liked that it was understated and simple, but tell me what you would have done. Would you have left her like this, or would you have done something more, and what would you have done? DIY number 5. So here we are with our little rooster sign. And like I said before, I thought this was so cute just the way it was. I didn't know what to do with this. So I decided, well, let's make it reversible. We've got Papa Rooster on the front. We'll put little baby chick on the other side of it. So I came in with my Adirondack White by Home Decor, and I painted both the little chick as well as the back of the sign. And so now I'm going to use my Buffalo Check napkin that Wendy sent. It is a 2-ply, so hopefully you saw me pulling that apart. You only want just the single sheet. And I measured it off, and just that one corner of the napkin was going to work for this. So I'm coming in with my matte Mod Podge, going to smooth the napkin over, and then going ahead and reapplying a coat over top of the napkin and using my sanding block to cut away all of the edges. So I want to just take a minute to thank everybody who watched my video. I think it was last week. All the days are melding together, but for all of the little, the love on the little bunny that I had decoupaged, I was so happy you all liked her. And I had so many people commenting that they are having trouble finding those little foam bunnies. So I have found 3 more foam bunnies, and I am going to be giving them away. If you are interested in being in on the drawing, just leave me a comment and let me know what your favorite part about spring is. What do you love about spring? Leave a comment on that and I will enter you in the drawing, and we'll announce it next week. Actually, I might announce it this Friday. We'll see. But leave me a comment on that. So I did outline my little chick with my black acrylic paint marker and add that cute little twine bow. And if you love this project, give me a big thumbs up. Here we are with the final reveal. Okay, everybody, that's it for today. Thank you so much for watching. If you haven't already subscribed, I hope you'll consider doing that, and make sure you hit that notification bell so that you're alerted every time I upload a new video. And be sure to go and check out Wendy's video. I'm going to be leaving a link in my description box. You're definitely going to want to go and see the fabulous projects that she has created for today's video. So until the next time, be well, be kind, and make it a great day. Thank you so much for watching. Take good care. Bye.